do some review today on graphing in slope-intercept form. So when we're graphing a line in slope-intercept form, we have y equals mx plus b, where m represents our slope. That's how steep our line is. And it's going to be written as a fraction in rise over run form. I'll show you what that means in a minute. B represents our y-intercept. And that is where the line crosses the y-axis. So for these types of problems, we're going to be given an equation. Like for exercise 1, we're given y equals negative 2x plus 3. We're going to have to fill in a table. So we're given the equation and we're given x values. We're going to plug in the x's into the x place. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. So what we're doing right now is we're plugging in the x into the equation to get the y. Those x's and y's are going to be the points we plot. Now we're going to plug in 0. Negative 2 times 0 plus 3. Negative 2 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 is 3. Negative 2 times 2 plus 3. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Plus 3 is negative 1. So now we have our x's and y's. We're going to plot on this graph. Negative 2, 7, 0, 3, and 2, negative 1. We're going to connect our lines and put arrows on both ends. We also want to make sure we write the equation on the line. So that's how we first learn to graph lines, by creating that table and plotting those points. Illustrate the slope of the function graphically. So to illustrate the slope, that's our rise over run. So you're going to pick any 2 points, and you're going to go up or down, and then over to the next one. So from these 2, we go down and then over. That's how we illustrate the slope, that little triangle there. That tells us we go down 4 over 2. Or our slope is down 4 over 2. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. So that's our slope. Quick little trick, which is also our m value. All right. And circle the y-intercept. So the y-intercept of our line is where the line crosses the y-axis. I highlighted instead of circled. That's right there. All right. So now a quicker way to do this without a table is to just identify the slope and the y-intercept, if you remember when we did that. So our slope, so our equation, we'll start there, is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. All equations are written in y equals mx plus b form. So we want to find the m and the b. They're lined up perfectly. So our m is 1/2, which is our rise over run. So that means we go up 1 over 2. And our b, or our y-intercept, is 2. So that means we start at 2, and then we go up 1, right 2. And we continue in that pattern. So again, we start at 2, and we go up 1 over 2. And I like to go until we hit the very edge of the graph. And then to go in the opposite direction, instead of up 1, right 2, we're going to do the complete opposite. Down 1, left 2. And again, we're going to keep going until we hit the very edge of that graph. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw our line, arrows on both ends, and we're going to label it with our equation. Perfect, and that's how you graph a line. I think that's a lot simpler than the table. You are always welcome to create a table for yourself so that you, better understand it. Whatever works better for you. All right, so now we have negative 2x minus 1. To find the slope and the y-intercept, let's write our y equals mx plus b. We need to find the m value and the b. Now that it's lined up, it makes it easier for ourselves. M, b. So we say the m value, or the slope, is negative 2. That's our rise over run. However, this isn't a fraction, so we're going to put negative 2 over 1. So that means we go down 2, right 1. The b is the y-intercept, and the b in this case is negative 1. Be sure to count the minuses and negative. So that's where we start. So to graph this, we're going to start off at negative 1, and we're going to go down to right 1, down to right 1. Continue in that direction. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction, up to left 1. And the reason why we always go to the right is because that 1 on the bottom is positive. Positive means right, negative means left. If it's on the top, positive means up, negative means down. We draw the line, arrows, and we want to label y equals negative 2x minus 1, and we're done.